The Jeep Gladiator is far superior to the Toyota Tacoma in this area, and I really don't understand why. Well, good morning everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and welcome back to the channel. And that's right, there is one area, well, at least one area, that the Jeep Gladiator is far superior to the Toyota Tacoma in. And I've got the Tacoma, I've actually got both vehicles out here, and we're going to take a look. We're going to actually start in the Tacoma, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in the Jeep Gladiator. Now, first of all, the first thing that you notice when you get in, there's no grab handle here. Still driving me crazy. I'm working on fixing that for the Tacoma, but not yet. So you kind of have to step up here. Let's give you a little dramatization. Kind of step up, grab the steering wheel, that's what I do, kind of hoist myself up so now I'm above the cab, and then kind of throw myself back into the seat. I don't know, kind of a drag, maybe it's just me. But now that we're inside, you know, I might have an idea why this is, and I'll let you know in a minute. But it just feels more confining in here. You know, it's weird. You get in because they're not hugely different, I don't think. When you look at the numbers on paper, they're relatively close. Now, what I'm talking about is just the general feeling inside, but when you go to reach for stuff, everything just seems closer. It's not. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, ergonomically, you want to be able to reach everything, right? I mean, when you look at where the radio is compared to how I'm sitting in the truck, like this, I'm just sitting in the seat, right? It just seems closer here. Again, not a bad thing necessarily. Now, when I reach across the truck, you can see I'm probably about, I don't know, maybe 8 inches, something like that, away from being able to touch the door. That's without leaning over. I'm just trying to give you perspective, I guess, as to how much room there is in here. Next up, let's look at the roof and pay particular attention to this. I have the sunroof open now, and obviously you gain a little bit more space if you're in this sunroof area cavity, but let's say it's closed, and hopefully that doesn't make it too dark. Yeah, it's not bad. But look here. Here is my height of my head, and it's probably about the width. If I spread my fingers out a little, you guys can see right there, probably about the width of my hand, my fingers spread out a little bit. And I say remember that because we're going to do the same little check inside the Jeep Gladiator, which we're going to move to in just a minute. Now, let's hop in the back real quick because this is where it becomes even more apparent. We'll just slide out of the Tacoma there. All right, let's hop up in here. Again, we have no grab handle or anything over here to grab onto. Fortunately, I do have one on the seat area, so I can grab that. So, another little dramatization for you. Gonna grab a hold of the seat, step up on the step right down there, and then kind of pull myself in like so. And this is how we're in. Now notice, when we're in here, where my knees are. I mean, I'm sitting, I'm gonna scoot as far as I can, right against the back of the seat. You can see how I'm sitting inside here, and you can see where my knees are, right? I mean, I'm about a little bit less than the width of my fingers between hitting, right? There I can slide down, so maybe I'm just up a little bit, but I would normally ride probably just about like this. And if my knees are straight in front of me, at least on the left side apparently, must be different left to right, or maybe one of my legs are shorter, I don't know. But I can't get my hand down here, but down here I can. Anyway, just a little bit tight. Looking in the area here, not too bad. I mean, you would have a passenger sitting here potentially. You've got some separation here, so you're not too close. That could be important if you have the little kitties traveling with you, because we all know how that gets, right? She's touching me, she's breathing on me. You know how that goes. So let's step out. You may have noticed I have a tape measure in there. I just wanted to get a quick crude measurement. This isn't scientific. Just kind of laying it down on the seat. We're trying to keep it level, pushing it to the edge, and it's a little over 9 inches, maybe about 9 1/4 inches, something like that. Trying to keep this level again between the front part of the seat and the back part of the front seat. You can see there. Okay, so let's go over to the Jeep Gladiator now. Kind of going to do the same thing. Let me throw my tape measure in the back. We'll need that in a couple minutes. I bet you can probably guess why. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Now, getting into the truck, of course, you notice right off, you've got a grab handle there, right? So getting in is much, much simpler. You just grab the grab handle, step on the step, and just kind of swivel right in. It's pretty darn easy. Much easier to get in the Jeep Gladiator than it is the Tacoma back there. Now, full disclosure, my Tacoma is lifted, so it is a little bit more of a step up, but still definitely not as easy to get into as the Jeep Gladiator is. Now, sitting inside, we'll give you a look. My back rather, is against the seat. I'm sitting in here as I normally would, you know, driving down the road, having fun, enjoying the Jeep. The stretch to the radio, not too bad. It's about the same. It actually is a little bit longer. So there's a little bit more room between, I guess, how I sit and how I would reach for the radio. Reaching over to the other side, I'd say it's probably pretty darn close, about 8 inches or so. So I'd say that's pretty much equivalent. But the big difference inside here is going to be headroom. You notice up here, and I do have the soft top on here. This is the Bestrider soft top, but I'm looking at the distance. I mean, I can tell already just doing that. Here's my hand, and there's my hand spread out, and I'm still not touching. It is close, but my hand is spread out all the way now, right? And I'm still not touching. It's close, but it's not like this was right here in the Toyota Tacoma. So I would say I probably have at least another 1.5 inches, 2 inches, something like that, between my head and the roof, or the ceiling in the Jeep Gladiator. Now, let's step out into the back, because this is a huge difference, in my opinion. Huge being relative, of course. Go ahead, open that up, and first thing we notice, check this out. We have another grab handle here. Apparently, Jeep cares more about being able to get in and out of the vehicles than Toyota does. But same kind of process to step in, right? Just grab the grab handle, put your left leg on there, and step in. Now, I'm inside, and probably why it feels bigger back here is because Jeep actually has a cutout in the seat. And I don't know why Toyota doesn't do this. Let's get myself seated right back against the back of the seat, same as I was in the Tacoma. Put my knees together, or at least how I would normally be sitting. I guess if you have proper posture, and you can see the difference here, right? My hand isn't hitting anything. I can pull my legs all the way up. They're not hitting anything. I can spread them all the way out. They're still not hitting anything. So obviously we have more room, more leg room back here, at least from your waist to your knees, than we do in the Toyota Tacoma. As far as other dimensions in here, the same, obviously, when you reach side to side, and it might actually be a hair narrower here. This area right down here. I don't know if you guys can see. I think you can. Right down here. It seems to be a little bit closer to where you'd have 2 passengers in the back. Now, let's hop out. We'll do our little measurement for comparison's sake. Let me go ahead, get the tape measure on here, and I'm trying to do the same thing, keeping it level. And you can see it's right about 9.5 to 10 inches. 10 inches if I measure right here on this edge versus where it slopes down, which I think is what I was doing with the Toyota Tacoma. So, and I'm trying not to push it in on this little holder back here, but right about probably 9 3/4 inches, something like that. So you get about 1/2 inch or so more space in the back of the Jeep Gladiator because of that cutout. Now, I know that might not seem like a lot, but I got to tell you, when you're sitting back there, it feels much, much better. I don't know, kind of weird. Anyway, I do think the Jeep Gladiator is superior to the Toyota Tacoma when it comes to interior room. Just feels and seems like there's a lot more room inside. And honestly, in the front, I think it's probably because of that higher roof. You know, they've gone just a little bit more, depending on how you measure it, I guess, than what the Tacoma does. And it really does make you feel a little bit less claustrophobic when you're in the truck, if you're sensitive to those kind of things. Anyway, leave a comment if you've had both or ridden in both. Let me know what you thought. Did the Gladiator feel more roomy inside? Did it feel superior to the Toyota Tacoma in that area? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, check out my other channel. It is Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma back there. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.